Welcome back to the lesson 2. Today we're going to be starting the main portion of today's lesson, and the lesson today will be learning what are variables. If you look over on your tab over here, the one in red that says variables, you click on it, you have some options over here. Now before we start, we first have to understand what is a variable. Okay, a variable is like a name that we give to something in coding. Okay, for example, maybe your name is Tom, or your name is Michael. You can have any kind of names. But for this case, right, we are going to create a name for a particular item that we want to create. So up here, you see on this gray color portion here, there's a make a variable. We're going to click on it. And you see here, they're asking for a new variable name. So what we're going to do here is we are going to come up with a new variable called my number. Okay, and we click enter. Okay, because I already created this before. Right, so you see the my number, an extra my number little tab here will come out. Okay, under the variable. Okay, so this is how you created your first actual variable. Now whenever you create a variable, the very first thing you have to do, okay, is to set a value for your variable. Something like give it some sort of a characteristic. Okay, so usually we will do this by using the on start button. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this set item to 0. Okay, I'm going to drag it out and I'm going to paste it on the on start. Now remember just now we created a variable called my number. Now this the word here item is also another variable that this microbit website created before we even started using it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change this item into a my number. This was the variable that we created just now, and we want to use it, so we'll only be using this all the way. Okay. Now what happens here is you're actually setting the variable my number and giving it a value of 0. The moment you turn on your microbit, my number now refers to 0. Okay, and how do we actually check whether this is actually working? What we're going to do is we're going to take the under the basic tab, you're going to look for the show number over here. Okay, now what do you think the number over here will show the moment your program starts? It will show a 0. Okay, so if you're going to change this show number over here, you're going to change it to, let's say, a 5. Okay, what's going to happen is the moment you start your program, you look over here, it's showing the number 5. Now there's one way they can use this show number differently from how than just showing this number over here. Instead of showing a straight number like 5, click on the variable tab. Do you see that my number over here? You could actually drag this my number out and you could replace it with the 5 over here. So now whatever the value of my number is, it will show because of this show number line over here. Alright, now if you want to check whether your code actually is working the way you want it to be, you could change the value of this set my number to, maybe you could change it to, let's say, 7. Okay, and you notice when it's 7, what the number here will show is 7 because it's showing the number of my number, which you already set to 7 at the beginning. Okay, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we will only keep this to 0 for now. Okay, later you will understand why. Okay, so with this you have actually created your very first variable, and you can try to create this yourself now and by looking through your worksheet as well. Alright, I will pause here for a while.